Not every family is built the way you expect it to be. Sometimes it starts with one small, frightened cat, and sometimes it grows into something neither of them saw coming. When we brought Milo home, he was quiet in a way that worried me. Not calm, not relaxed. Quiet like he was still bracing for something. He was a young orange tabby, barely a year old, and he'd already lived through more moves and more shelters than most cats see in a lifetime. He didn't explore the apartment, he didn't chase the light from the window. He found a corner behind the couch and stayed there for 3 days. I remember sitting on the floor near him, not reaching out, just letting him get used to the sound of my breathing. I didn't rush anything, no sudden movements, no forcing him out of his corner before he was ready. Some evenings he wouldn't move at all. Other evenings he'd shift an inch closer, just enough to notice. Slowly he came around. Not fast, not dramatically, just an inch here, an inch there, until one evening he finally climbed into my lap and fell asleep, his whole body finally loose and unguarded for the first time since he'd arrived. I thought that was the whole story, a scared cat learning to trust one person. I thought that was as far as it would go. I was wrong. About 4 months later, a friend of mine could no longer keep her cat, a gray shorthair named Ash. Older, quieter, and even more guarded than Milo had been. He'd been through 2 other homes before hers, and by the time she got him, he barely let anyone touch him without flinching. She asked if I could take him in, just until she found him a new home. I said yes without really thinking it through. I had no idea what I was about to set in motion. The first night, I kept them separated. Ash hid under the bed and didn't come out, not for food, not for anything. Milo paced outside the door, sniffing at the gap underneath it, unsure what to make of this new presence in his territory. I braced myself for weeks of tension, maybe even a home that never quite settled. But cats surprise you. On the second morning, I opened the bedroom door just a crack to check on Ash, and Milo slipped past my legs before I could stop him. My heart dropped. I expected hissing, maybe a chase, maybe 2 cats refusing to share a house ever again. Instead, I found Milo sitting a few feet from the bed, completely still, watching Ash with something that looked less like challenge and more like recognition. He didn't approach, he just sat there, patient, the way he used to sit behind the couch when he first arrived, like he understood exactly what fear looked like because he'd worn it himself. Over the next few days, Milo kept doing the same thing. He'd walk to the doorway of whatever room Ash was hiding in, sit down, and simply stay. He never pushed, he never crowded him, he just made his presence known and let Ash decide the rest, the same quiet patience I had once shown him. Something in that must have registered, because by the end of the first week, Ash had moved from under the bed to the edge of the bed, then to the foot of the bed, then, one morning, I woke up to find both cats curled on the same blanket, not touching, but close. Close enough that it meant something. Hey, if you're enjoying this one, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel keep telling stories like theirs, and it means more than you know. From that point on, it was like watching a friendship rebuild itself in slow motion. Milo started grooming Ash's ears, something he had never done for anyone, not even me. Ash, in turn, began following Milo from room to room, staying a few steps behind, but always staying close. 2 cats who had both been given up on in different ways at different times, somehow finding their way back to trusting something again together. I started noticing little rituals forming between them. They'd eat side by side, even though there were 2 food bowls on opposite ends of the kitchen. They'd nap in a pile of sunlight by the window, Ash's gray fur pressed against Milo's orange and white. When a delivery truck rumbled outside and startled Ash, Milo would immediately walk over and sit beside him until his ears relaxed again. It wasn't something I taught them. I couldn't have, even if I tried. It was something they built between themselves, out of 2 very different kinds of hurt. There was one afternoon I won't forget. A thunderstorm rolled in fast, the kind that rattles windows and makes the whole house feel unsteady. Ash had always been terrified of loud noise, a leftover fear from wherever he'd come from before my friend took him in. I heard him bolt for the closet the second the thunder cracked. I went looking for him, expecting to find him curled up alone in the dark. Instead, I found Milo already there, tucked in beside him, his body pressed against Ash's side like a small, steady wall between him and the storm. Neither of them moved when I opened the door. They just looked at me and then at each other, like this was simply where they were supposed to be. I sat down on the floor next to that closet for a long time that day. I thought about how differently their lives had started. Milo, given up young, passed between shelters before he ever had the chance to trust anyone. Ash, older, quieter, carrying a fear that ran even deeper. Two cats who had every reason to stay closed off from the world and from each other. And yet, here they were, choosing one another again and again in the smallest ways. A shared patch of sunlight, a blanket at the foot of the bed, a quiet body pressed close during a storm neither of them could control. I didn't adopt Ash to give Milo a friend. I didn't even think that far ahead. I just wanted to help a cat who needed somewhere to land. But somewhere along the way, without either of us planning it, I ended up watching two rescued animals do for each other what I could never fully do alone. They taught each other that safety wasn't something you had to guard so tightly, that it was allowed to be shared. These days, you rarely see one of them without the other nearby. Milo still leads the way into new situations the way he always has, testing the ground first, making sure it's safe. Ash still hangs back a step, watching, deciding. But he trusts Milo's judgment now, almost completely, the way you trust someone who has never once let you down. Watching them, I think about how much of healing isn't really about time. It's about someone showing up over and over until you finally believe they're not going anywhere. Milo didn't fix Ash. He just kept sitting in doorways until Ash decided to walk through them. Sometimes family isn't the one you're born into. Sometimes it's the one that finds you twice, once when a person opens a door, and again when another frightened animal decides you're worth trusting too. Ash and Milo never knew each other's stories. They never needed to. They just recognized something familiar in one another, and that was enough to start. If this story meant something to you, I'd love to know. Do you think animals can sense fear in each other the way people do? Or is this just something deeper than we can explain? Let me know what you think in the comments.